Shalom, Lord of Christ. This is Isupk, start off 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Under Commander General Yohana, started off 1969. Where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm Officer Qadash teaching the Lashawan Qadash class tonight here in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Simpsonville. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not under Commander General Yohana, if you're one of these fake Israelite groups, you're not under the truth. So get a flyer, get into the ISUBK class, www.isupk.com, and get under the truth. But we're teaching the Lashawan Qadash class here. We're waiting for people to get on in the class here. We know we got people still joining the class. Here in South Carolina, we'll let you know we have our chart, Hebrew chart over here on the left, Lashawan Qadash, and we teach Paleo and Assyrian Hebrew. The Paleo Hebrew is the original mother tongue of our language. The Assyrian Hebrew is the same sounds but different characters. When we were in captivity with the Assyrians, and they stole our language and then placed with the different characters that you see here. So we have two Hebrews that we learn in class here. We understand our mother tongue, Paleo Hebrew. Let's see, I'll write it on the board here. The Paleo, we learn the Paleo Hebrew, you know. We learn the Paleo Hebrew in class. Okay, that's the original tongue. That how people joining in, and we also learn what you call the Assyrian Hebrew. Okay, that's the language that we learn, the same sounds, but we learn them in captivity, the different characters. Okay, so the Assyrian Hebrew is actually just different characters that we have to learn for our same sounds, really. Adopted there. I don't know if you can't say really adopted, it's a bad word, I guess, but it's the same sounds go with different characters, I'll put it that way. And that's what we teach because we want people to understand who we are. We want people to understand that the Most High went through a lot of trouble to save us by sending Yahweh, you know, and went through a lot of understanding. We have to understand that the least we can do is learn the language that we're under. You know, that's this, and you get accustomed to it. Let's see, we have people checking in the chat. Let's see who we have. Young man D'Angelo checking in class from Blythewood, South Carolina. Have Officer Shar and different people that are looking out in class, and letting you know that the Paleo Hebrew. While you're at it, D'Angelo, I know this is a mundane thing, but let me know how many characters are in Paleo Hebrew. You know, so why, since you're checking in right there, how many characters are there in Paleo Hebrew? But Paleo Hebrew Paleo Hebrew, the characters. Let me know how many characters there are in the Paleo Hebrew while you're there. But the Paleo Hebrew was given to us by the Most High. When we say Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zaka, Tayakala, Manasa, Ipa, Taza, Kwara, Shata. And those same sounds are indicated when you use the Assyrian Hebrew. We just use different, I guess, characters instead of alphabet. We don't call them that in America because, you know, we use different things like the different characters in the Hebrew, you know, like the A here, and that's an A in Paleo Hebrew. Of course, as I try to use different colors to indicate things like that. So it'll look like that. That's an A. That's A. Okay? Block you for a second. Marakta. Hello? Yes. Wrong number, okay? Okay, Salakia there, I'm sorry, got off technical difficulties there. But anyway, how many characters are there? D'Angelo, while you're over there in the chat, let me know. And while you're at it, let me know how many vowel sounds, how many vowels are there? Because, you know, in the Paleo, we use a letter, a term, a character, I'm sorry, that looks like that. And of course, in the Assyrian, that same character looks like that. So that's the difference we have to understand when we're using the Hebrew. And that's both the sound of ah, okay? So, let's see who else we got checking in the chat here. I think D'Angelo. Yeah, that's clap it up. Exactly right. See, I remember a while back. Clap it up. Exactly right. There's 22 characters and 2 vowels, as D'Angelo said. So there's 22 characters. 22. Okay? And that's exactly right. If you count them all, they'll come up the same thing, 22 characters. It's just like, I like to spend 5 or 10 minutes going over things so people can understand. Okay? People looking in for the first time, you know, sometimes they don't know, and I appreciate that, brother. 22 characters, and they are the ah and the vowels, the ah and the I, okay? Or we can say the I, okay? Like that. And of course, looks like this. Like that. All right? And that's what, and by now, some people who haven't learned, but the 2 vowels look like this, okay? And that's what they look like. We're going to go over some interrogative words here to let you know so people understand it helps you with your vocabulary. So I hope you're writing these things down so when you make sentences, people type it in the chat. Well, I'll tell you what an interrogative is. An interrogative, we'll do this. Of course, these are the vowels. We'll put it up here. Interrogative words, okay? And they are words that ask this. They ask a question. That's what they do. So this will help you in your vocabulary. They ask, okay, question. You know, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to write that down. They ask a question. They quest something. You know, they ask questions. And that's what we're going to go over here. We're going to ask some, we're going to go over some interrogative words. So make sure you got your paper, you know, study it a little bit. And I'll sit down here and go over the board and have some writing here for you. Interrogative. Now that we got some of the questions asked of how many characters are, 22 characters. You have to learn all those. When you say ah, you'll see ah in every last one of those characters except for one. You'll see an I, and that's the 2 that D'Angelo was talking about. So he's right, bro. And then the characters. Did I spell that right? Yeah, characters. I guess there's 22 of them. If you count them all, it's Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zakata, Yakala, Manasa, Ipata, Zakwa, Ra, Shata. and it's the same thing, but they're just going to have the blue represents the Assyrian, and the paleo represents the red. So an interrogative question, it asks something. It asks a question. And we'll go over the first one. The first one I'll put down here is, let's go over this one. Wood. You know, would, an interrogative, okay? Would ask the question, you know, would I go with him, or would I go to the store, or will, or would, not should, but would I go? Would I go down? Would I go down the street? Would I go? You know, if you asking your husband, you know, something, you say, would I say 22 characters? You know, that's or it doesn't matter in that case, because they're both masculine and feminine in origin. So when we get a word like would, we say stuff like ha, like this, haya, haya, okay? That's the word would. You know, you can use that in a sentence like we were using, you know? So would, it asks a question. That's what an interrogative is. And we're well, I put too many G's in that, didn't I? Sorry about that. Interrogative, okay? It asks the question of would. It wants to know something. You know, would that be this? Would that be that? And of course, you know, in Assyrian, we'll do this in Assyrian right here. We'll just spell it out. Let's go. So when you want to say a would, you use the same characters that you use over here. So you're gonna say ha, like, you know, like you got a word like this, you say ha, like that. That's the first thing you want to do, is say ha, okay? If you got any questions, y'all type them in the chat, okay? Then you're gonna say, over here, you're gonna say ya, you know, like this. Like that, okay? Haya, so haya, and then we're gonna put like this. Hayaha, haya, okay? And of course, you know, you need to understand these, so make sure you write them down. When we're doing a word like would, okay? All right, and then of course, when we want to spell it in Hebrew, paleo, it's in red, of course. All right. See if y'all can remember this. We're going to say ha, ya. D'Angelo, who else want to answer it? Ha, ya, ha, or ha, ya. It's basically ha, ya. You can say ha, ya, ha, but it's really ha, ya. Okay? And D'Angelo, and different people that's looking in the chat right now. What kind of, you notice, if you remember, we have connectors, right? So tell me what connectors would I use right here. I'm gonna pick it up with, in the black right here, I'm gonna say ha. Ha ya. I'm gonna say, now tell me, is that right? Are those connectors that I just did, is that correct? So let me know on this word, because it helps pronounce the word, an interrogative words. Not only in Hebrew that you know how to spell them in the English, we have to know how to spell them in the Assyrian and the Paleo. We have to know how to spell that word in Hebrew, in other words. Okay? And that's how you spell it in Hebrew. When you see this in the Tanakh, and troopers and different people, your women, your sisters. Let's see, I guess you said, yeah, Khan, yeah. Yes, and that's exactly right. So clap it up for him. Exactly right. Exactly right, Khan. That is right. You're exactly right. And so make sure you copy this in your notes, young man. Ha, ya, ha-ya. And that word, and that is right. I mean, I didn't attempt to try to fool you. I just want to let you know in the connectors, that's how that's done. Ha, ya. And why? Because we want the ha to have its own sound right here. Then we want ya, but in order to do that ya, and that's why I say you gotta be careful sometimes. That's why we added an H here, because we don't want to say ha ya. We want to say, ha ya ha. We want to say ha ya like that, and leave that H like kept it in the breath. You know, because we don't. There are other words that have that same spelling. So you have to. Every word has their own unique spelling, and that's why the H is there, because it's ha ya. Okay, and we want that to be. And what kind of connectors are these, Angelo? Type them in the chat here. The first one is called a what? And what's the second one called? We'll wait for you. Just take your time and type it out, okay? Take your time and type that one out. Let's see what that's called. See if you remember. See if you remember what type of word, what type of connectors those are. Tell me, let me know. Let me know what type of connector is the first one, and then let me know what type of connector is the second one there. Because that's an upside down U, and then there's a right side up U. That looks like a U. So you tell me, what are those called? I mean, oh good Lord, I done told you, didn't I? But which one are they? What type of connectors are they? What's the first one called? What type of connector? And what's the last one called? Take your time and type it out. Because if you take the time and go through all of these lessons that we're teaching here, you will learn Hebrew. Now let me see what you got written down. I bet you got it right. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Let's clap it up for the young man. Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right. And then see, independently, an independent sound, ha, now you catch it on. So, because you're going to be able to spell your own Hebrew, that's why I'm going through this, so you'll be able to spell your own Hebrew and go over this yourself. You wouldn't have to worry about depending on somebody else to teach you. You'll know it yourself. A lot of people call in and say, man, when are we going to learn Assyrian? We got brothers like D'Angelo, he's learning the Syrian and the Paleo as we go. So let's put let's leave that up there for just 1 second. Then I'll put another one. Okay? You learn it as we go. And he's learning it because he's taking his time to cooperate. The same thing I did and some of the other officers, Shar, Officer Dawada, and other officers, a lot of officers took the time to even go through this. Shah, he's learning, picking up the Hebrew, and different, and on and on and on. And people are picking it up because they're taking the time to answer the proper questions, you know. And when you do that, if you have any question, you know, by the teacher that's not that you've learned, then you'll be able to understand and go and say the same thing. And we'll say, let's use one called what. You'll be able to do the same thing that the teacher's doing, just all you got to do is pay attention. Okay? What? And what is a word called this? Ma'ah. Okay? Those interrogative words. It's what? Ma'ah. Okay? So let's take the time to write this one out. I mean, it's good. It's good that we do this so people understand. you know. All right. Ma'a. So we're going to say like this, ma, in the Assyrian, like that. And this gets you used, believe it or not, if only serious students take the time to do it like this, because this gets you used to looking at Assyrian. This gets you used to looking at Paleo. And this gets you used to writing it. And especially if you write it down at home. And take your time, don't cheat yourself. And before you know it, you'll be right in there with everybody else. So ma, and then we're gonna say maha, ma'a, okay? So we're gonna say like this. All right, and notice, you gotta notice that there's a space in there because there's a ka that looks just like that. And that's what it looks like in Assyrian, okay? You got any questions, let me know. All right, ma'a. And so we're gonna use, in red for the Paleo, for this word ma'a. We're gonna spell it out in Hebrew. And so in English, it looks like ma'a, but over here, Assyrian looks like this. But in Paleo, it looks like this. Like that, okay? Ma, and then you want to say ha, like this. So you want to use this character. These are characters. You'll get used to using them. Okay, now we're gonna put down the connectors, and we're gonna see if I'm right or wrong. So I want people in the chat to tell me if I'm right or wrong. I appreciate your paying attention in the chat, you know, people joining in. So we have something like ma, ma'a. So we're going to say ma, ma, maha, ma. Okay? That's always been one of those sounds that ma'a, maha, or you can say ma. But I always say maha. So we're going to do this to it. You got one sound, you can say it, you can do it like this. Maha. Or you can say two sounds. You can say ma and then ha. Either one will be correct as far as I'm saying it. Right here. I mean, you can say, because it's one particular sound here that you hear, ma. You know, like la. So that's why we're going to say one particular sound. And if you use, that is a dependent connector. We want to make all these depend on each other on this case. So we're going to say ma, maha. You know, it's one sound. Not because it's a short word, it's just because it makes one sound, okay? And then if we were to use that in a sentence, okay, let's use that in a sentence right here. All right. So we're going to use ma'ah in a sentence because let's see if we can do that. It says we're going to say something like this. We're going to say what nation. I was going to do the 18 nations tonight. What nation? And then I'm going to say, are you from? You know, and that's asking a question. And why is that asking a question? Because you started out with an interrogative word. You started out with an interrogative. We'll put this over here. What? Okay, there we go. All right. We're going to say, what nation are you from? And then, of course, as we've been doing before, we'll use the word ma like this. Ma, we don't need these anymore. Ma. That's what. it's asking a question, an interrogative word, and it's important to ask people when you approach them what nation they're from. I mean, you know, you want to know who you're talking to. Are you talking to an East Indian, a person with a little dot on their eye that worship women's cycles? Are you worshiping? Are you talking to a Hamite? Are you talking to a Caucasian or an Esau? You want to know, so that's why you want to know. I mean, you don't know sometimes. Sometimes you do simply by color, you know. But then it says, when I say, what is your nation? You know, so we say a nation is Shamka. And you can say, I can put an is right there, but it's assumed there. You don't have to put that there. Shamka, okay? Let's lock it for a second here. Let's see. Okay, lock it. Sorry about that. Let's make sure. Okay. So, and we're going to get into something else over here. All right, when we're talking, well, let's use this color right here. When we're saying, what is your nation? Shamka. So Sham, the word Sham is, yeah. Wait a minute. Jesus. So what is your name? I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Slocky about that. What is your name? Yahweh Yah is nation, so I said that wrong. So, name. Sorry, slocky about that. Okay? So Sham. When you're saying Sham, it means name. But when you're saying, what is your name? So that's what we want to do right here. So let's go over here and do this right here. Slocky. What is your? Slocky. Now that's better. Knew I had something wrong there. So slocky about that. Listen to the audience that's listening. Okay, so when it says your nation, so we come over here and we say Ma'ah. Ma'ah, that is what? That's how you say that. That's what we just said over here. Then we want to say, when we're using something like Sham, Sham is name. But when we say your nation, we're using a possessive adjective right here. That possessive adjective on the word your. You know, this is valuable information because you can use this interchangeable in different words. But when you say your, that is a possessive adjective. You know, D'Angelo, type in the chat, what's a possessive adjective? What am I saying? I'll go ahead and finish writing here. What is your name? I'll get ready. I had what nation you're from. I didn't want to do that one. That's a whole nother type of sentence. But what's a possessive adjective, D'Angelo? Remember, see if you can get it. If you can't, I'll answer it for you. Okay? It's called this right here. You know, this right here, possessive adjective. That word your. And that's how you would use that. You know, by knowing the base word name or name, you want to say Shamka, because your is a possessive adjective. So that's why we want to use ka, because that's what your means. It's ka. Okay? And we're taking this name right here, or this word, and saying, what's your name? And you can do the same thing when I say Mayan, Maya, Gawaya, Mayan. I say thing. That's what I thought I was doing when I was doing the nation part. But we'll go to what is your name. So what is your name? So what's a possessive adjective? See if you can get a stab of it. Then take a good stab at it. You may have it. What does it mean? I mean, I've done it enough in class here. So what is a possessive adjective? You know, we'll spell it out right here. Possessive, since we're on interrogative words also, possessive adjective, okay? What's a possessive adjective? What is that? What does it do? And of course, and I'll help you out here. An adjective, it goes right along with this noun here. Noun is a name. It describes what you're doing to a noun. That's what it does. So a possessive adjective, in this case, is it's taking over and possessing a name. That's what it's doing. So it's basically, so a possessive adjective for this case is ka. Okay? And it's an interrogative, and that's what we're doing. What? Okay? And you can do the same thing with the word what. You can come over here, and you can say, let's write another sentence. Write the original one that I had written out there. Salaki for a second. Okay? We're going to say, what? Y'all like and share the class for information, especially when we write interrogative words. This is important information because people will look at it. Sometimes they'll share the class, sometimes they won't, but we want you to like and share the class. So if I say, what nation? Now let's do it right here. I had that a little jumbled up there. What nation are you from? And that's a question. Interrogative night. We're asking questions here on the board. But we got to use interrogative words. And that's where we go and get a word like ma'ah. Right here. There it is again. So we'll understand it. Ma'ah. Just like that. Okay? And nation. Nation itself, that word is gawaya. So let's spell it. Ga, wa, ya. Okay? All right? So we're asking this, what nation are you from? Now what do? See if you can answer this, D'Angelo. If I want to say you from, from is mayan. If I want to say what nation are from, but what if I want to say what nation are you from? In other words, I want to make it an interrogative. What nation, and I want it to be possessive. An interrogative is asking a question, of course. Slock you for that. What nation are, and when I want to make a possessive adjective to go along with this noun mayan, not yayan, not wine, but mayan, from, what would I do? What do I do to that? Because that, right, you and your has the same meaning. You, your, you or yours, same thing. So, and just answer me in the chat, would this be right if I did this? If I said ka over here, if I said ma gawaya, and if I would say ka mayan, would that be right? Or would it be a whole lot easier to just say mayan ka? Would it be easy to do that? Would it be easy to just say mayan ka? We'll put it in, and let me know. Just say con or no. All right? I want to do this. Okay? Would it be a lot easier to do it that way? Maya, gawaya. Okay? And if I would say ka mayan, which one would be more correct if I wanted to be a possessive adjective? D'Angelo, or anybody else in the chat that want to answer it? If I want to say ka mayan, or would I say mayan ka? Which one would be right? First one or the second? In other words, would I say mayan ka? Just say kan. Would that be right? Would that be actually displaying what a possessive adjective is in this case? You know, because we're asking the question, you know, what nation are you from? But I want to say it all in one breath. So if I use a ka, which that's the possessive adjective sound, and that's where we get these words from. Little words turn into bigger words. Mayan ka, okay? So that seemed like the best way. Is that true? Yes or no? Or can I just say Maya, Gawaya, Ka, Mayan? Which one would be better? The first one here, Ka, Mayan, or would I say the second one, Mayan Ka? Let's see what you got over there. I like the participation because this is going to help you learn. Because once you learn this, no one can get Ka Mayan. You say, why you say Ka Mayan? Type it in the chat. Why you say? I want to answer some of your questions here. Why do you say Ka and then Mayan? Because that's what I got on the board. Is Khan, or is that what you're saying, or do I need to go and teach just a little further on possessive adjectives? Because once you learn this, you'll never forget it. Okay? What do you want to say right here? You said Ka Mayan instead of Mayan Ka. So what would I do? In other words, I'm sorry, not what would I do. The question is this. You said Ka Mayan. So I'm asking you the question without doing a whole lot of typing, I guess. Why did you say that? Do you think because you don't know, because this sounds good, or you don't know the difference? Put something there to indicate why you did it. I'm trying to find out how you would say that, because I'm gonna correct you on it, or because we've gone over this before, and like even right here. Okay. If you're not sure, just say question mark. You know, I understand that. We'll give you about 15, 20 seconds. In other words, I guess I'm asking. You said Ka Mayan. I'm trying to find out why you said. Oh, okay, good. Let's see what you got. I didn't catch the difference. Oh, okay, I got you. And that's good. Now let me show you the difference. Very good. And especially if you're taking the time out to ask the question, I'm definitely going to answer that question. Let me answer it for you, okay? To answer that for you, let me go up to the first one. What is your name? A possessive adjective, you want to take it and put it in back of the noun. So you say Sham. So in this case, it's Shamka. It would be no difference. And your is the same thing as you. That's Ka. Instead of saying Ka Mayan, and if you understand what I'm saying, type Kan Allah. Okay, instead of saying Ka Mayan, you definitely want to use Mayan Ka. So take this Ka right here and put it in back of that. And that's how you would spell that word. You from Mayan Ka. Okay, you don't have to write Ka Mayan. You don't have to put, as a matter of fact, the rule is to put the possessive adjective in the back of the noun. If you understand that, say La'a. Okay? If you understand that, say La'a. Because I'm teaching you interrogative words and possessive adjectives, in this case, possessive adjectives at the same time, because because it just happened to come up. And it's good. You know, now you really know what a possessive adjective. You get this right here, you'll understand. Like I said, to reiterate, what is your name? Well, your is Ka. That's what it means. But I'm going to put it in back of this noun right here to make it Shamka. Over here, and Yan, Mayan, I'm going to put the ka in back of the mayan and say mayan ka instead of saying ka mayan. Because that's a general rule for possessive adjective. You always put the possessive adjective in back of the noun. Okay? If you understand that, say la'a. I'm sorry, kan. If you don't, say la'a. Then we'll move on to another interrogative word. Okay? We'll wait for you. If you understand what I just said right there, I mean, it's a concept that's what you do. Interrogative words. Okay? So, no. In other words, I'm saying maya, gawaya, ka, mayan. But instead of saying ka mayan, I'm going to say mayan ka. In other words, I'll take this ka off of here and put it over there. Do you understand that? If you understand that, just say kan. Mayan ka. You had it on the screen, but you want to say mayan ka. Let's see, what'd you write? Did you write that down? Let's see what you wrote. Okay, gotcha. And I hope that explained the difference between it, because just waiting for your answer. When you want to ka, you don't have to say ka mayan, because that would be wrong anyway. You know, you want to use to explain a possessive adjective. To reiterate again, you want to always take it and put it in back of the noun. This is a noun, or sort of a, I don't know, it's from sort of a, I don't know, that's I'm not an English teacher, but some sort of noun, verb, or whatever you call that. But anyway, you want to take this and put it right here. See that arrow there? So I hope you understand that, okay? I want to make sure before I move on, I don't want to go off of that before we go into more interrogative words here. Interrogative words and have possessive adjectives in their sentence there, okay? Ma'am gawaya, mayan ka. So that's the difference right there. In other words, you take this you and put it in the back of there, okay? I'm assuming you understand that, because I didn't see anything written past that. Mayan ka, okay? So I'll go ahead and erase this. I'll let that stay on the board until you get back with me. You may have gotten something going on right there. We'll move on to the next interrogative word for everybody that's listening in, because it may involve, let's see, we may have to involve another lesson. In this case, it was a possessive adjective over there. So let's use another word, another interrogative. And they ask questions, and this one will be called when. Okay? When, I mean, you don't want to say when I'm ready, or when it's time, or, you know, you want to use that word when. And in this case, the word when Mathya. Okay? Mathya. When you want to say when, that too is an interrogative word because it's asking a question. In other words, it's asking something here. All right, it's asking you about it's asking a question. I mean, when you can say when I'm good, and you can say tawab. Okay. Or you can say, because anya tawab, I, when I'm or I, so we can do like this. We can say, when I'm, we can do this. We can say, when I'm good. Okay? You can say mata, and then you can say, we can say tawab here, but we want to make it we want to say the word for that is tawab, of course. And then we're going to say when we're going to use a word like, let's use a word like anya. That's, we'll use that one right there. Okay? Mata anya tawab. When I'm good, or when I good, or when I am. Or when good. You can say mata tawab, when I'm good. I just put the anya there because it's got an I. You can say I or I'm. You can say when I'm good. Or when good. Either one would be okay to use in this case. So, when, mata, and we're going to spell this, let's go over some of this here. Ma, we're going to use ma in the paleo right here. Ma, and then we're going to say ta, like that. And then we're going to say, slock it there. And we're going to say ya. That's paleo. That's what that looks like right there, okay? And I hope you're still there in the chat. We're going to say this. Ma. Then we're going to say tha. Ma. Tha. Okay? Matha. All right? So, we're going to make, and when we're saying when, we say ma, independent sound, and then we want to join mathya. Sorry about that. This is not right. All right, let's do that again. We want to say math. We want to make these sounds together like that. And then we want to say ya by itself. Slocky about that. Look at that color on the other side of the word, okay? So we want to say math. And then we want to say ya. Because we want a dependent sound with this word math, almost like the word math. So we want to say math. Then we want to say ya over here, okay? And that's the interrogative word. Then of course we want to use ya. We want to say tawab. We don't have to go. We don't need to. I guess I can, but the main thing I just want you to. We're concentrating on these interrogative words, and throw a possessive adjective in there. Also, so when, mathya, when I'm good, and that's a good way to say that one. Okay. We're going to use another interrogative word. use some more here. If I have to come back to this, D'Angelo, let me know. All right? If I have to come back to this sentence, let me know. Okay? What nation are you from? Possessive adjective. Okay? Let's use another one. So you people, so you could pick it out for yourself. Okay? So we said mafia and yatawa, or when I'm good. People say, man, are you good? Say, do you think you're gonna be ready in an hour? And you're gonna say, and basically, when I'm ready, when. It's an interrogative word. When I'm good, and then it's when I'm good, you're asking a question. When I'm good, So let's go to another one here. Let's go to where. You can say, where am I? Or you can say, let's use one. Let's do this one right here. Where are you? We'll say that one. Let's use that one. Let's say, where are you? Let's do it this way. Let's say, you're asking a question, when I'm good, or you can say, where? Let's use where. Where are let's see, is that what I want? Yeah, we can do that one. Or let's say slocky. Excuse me, slocky. Yeah, there we go. Where are you? It's a question that we're asking here, And of course, when we want to say where, we say, we want to say where, interrogative word here. We want to use the word ayah. Ah. You want to say ya, like this, okay? Ayah. And of course, that's what you want to use when you say that. Then of course we want to say R. The word for R is hum. Hum. Like that. Hum. So if you just said ayaham, people automatically know that's where are you. Where are you? Or so as we're saying ayaham, where are you? Or where do you reside? Or it says something like, let me see. See if I make sure I got this right here. So when you say that word, we can use, or where are you? There you go. So we're going to say, we're gonna say, where you are. It's sort of like saying that. So I guess we can do this. Or you can say, where, let's do this. Where are you? Or where, no, we can do that. We just said it, where are you? We'll leave it like that. Okay? Okay? Well, that nation for where, the name for where is Ayah. Okay? That's what we want to use on that one. Let's use another word. Let's use another, let's say, see, we got some more. We can say who. Let's use this one right here. Who. Okay? We use the word who. Because it's an interrogative word also. You know, and it says Maya. Maya. Like, almost sound like a person's name, you know, but that's how you pronounce that, Maya. You know, it's where is Atha and who is Maya? You know, that's the word you want to use in that case. Let's see. We got some more going on here before we yeah. Let's see. We got this. Here's a. We can ask the question. We can ask the question like this. Let's use this one. Let's say, how was your day? Let's put this one on here. Let's do this sentence right here. How? How is your day? Okay. Now that's a question. And how? That's asking a question. Asking a question, so that would make it an interrogative word. Just like that. And so let's explain it then. If how, how, we're going to use that word for interrogative will be called, it's ayak. Yak. All right? Ayak. All right? Your is ka. You or your is ka. That's what it means, you know, in this case. But since we're using it in front of a noun like day, you want to make a possessive adjective in this case. So when you say how is your day, yeah, it's a question. It's a question, but we want to know. We want to say the word for day without asking you what it means. We'll say it means yawam, like this. Yawam. Okay. A lot of this water here. How was your day? That's an interrogative word. How? It's like, it doesn't start with a W. In this case, it starts with an H. But this interrogative word is how is your day? You know, we don't have to put hawa up there as is. We don't have to do that. It's assumed that ayak, that when you say how your day, the same thing. I mean, that's how we talk. How your day, man? That's how black people talk anyway. You know, how your day, man? How your day been going? You don't have to say how is your day. You don't have to say all that. We don't have to say. We can speak just like we normally would speak when black people speak. You know, how we can say that, but we don't have to. So the interrogative word here is how, ayak. So we have a word ka, and then we want to say we want to ka in this case is a possessive adjective. Okay? It's a possessive adjective. That's what ka is. In other words, let me write this a little bit so people don't think it's pa. All right, a possessive adjective. All right. Well, yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. Ka is a possessive adjective. In this case, you know, how is your day? Yawam is day, and that's what it means. And if I would say how is your days, you know, you say hawam yam. You know, but you want to say yawam. It's just one day. How was your day? How has your one day been doing so far? So we want to possess that with a possessive adjective. So how do you do that? You know, if I did this, see if anybody in the chat over there, if I did this, if I moved it over here, would you understand that if I took all of this right here and moved it over here? If you understand the chat, type con. If not, type in the chat la'ah. You know, so if I say yamwamka, yawamka, and it's masculine or feminine, so it's either way. Most of these possessive adjectives are. You can go either way. That's how black people talk. How your day, man? How's your day? How your day? So let me know. Is that right? Yawamka? Well, let's put it this way. I know it's right. Do you understand it? Say yes or no. La'ah or kan. La'ah, I'm sorry. La'ah, no, or kan, yes. In the chat. If I say how's your day, and I want to use possessive adjective like that, yawamka. Oh, day itself is just a noun. That's all it is. Your is a possessive adjective. So we'll put the two together and make it yawamka. And in this case, the interrogative word will be how. So we'll give you guys a few seconds and see if you understand it. Because once you understand a few of these examples over here, then you got the point. That's what we're trying to do. Let you understand the point of in this case interrogative words, and you know sometimes we have to use possessive adjectives because it just happened to fall in the sentence that I'm using. That's all. Not to get alarmed, you know. So how would you do that? Give you guys a second to do that. Okay? All right. So, so actually, really, most words like this are actually masculine, but you know, the feminine. I mean, it's a masculine sound. It's her. I mean, you know, we're gonna do it this way. I'm sorry, Salaki. Let's put it this way. Your day for masculine, sorry, slack about that, will be wa. Slack about that. In this case, wa. Slack about that. It ain't gonna be the regular sentence that we're gonna say wa for masculine. Alright? For feminine, in this case it ain't masculine. For feminine, we're gonna say your days, we're gonna say Ya, Wam, Wam Ha. Sloppy about that. Okay, let's put a different color, make sure you guys understand that. Sloppy about that. Matter of fact, let's put this in blue right here. Okay? Yawam Ha. Okay? So it's a big difference right here. When we're saying, it's lucky about that. They're both, this is feminine here. Sometimes they get off a little bit. And this one is masculine. So when you say Yawam Wa, you know, you're talking to another man. If you're talking to a female, you want to say Yawam Ha. Or when females talk to each other, you want to say, or when they talk to a man, they would definitely say Yawam Ha. You know, that's, but a man would say Yawam Wa. So, but it's the same possessive adjective that you're using with the interrogative word ha, how. That's the difference. So make sure you guys write that down. So when I say masculine for how is your day? So I would say a yak. Of course, you don't need is or your day. You want to say yawam wa for masculine. For feminine, you want to say how was your day? You know, you guys had a long day. You know, you worked on your job. You know, and you want to talk to each other. You want to say how was your day? Say a yak. A woman would say a yak yawam ha. You know. But a man would say, you know, he would say, ya, wam wa. When we're talking to each other, a man to man, we say, ya wam wa. Your day. Okay, but your itself, a possessive adjective, you can use ka. But when you want to possess them in the masculine, feminine form, you want to use ya wam wa. Okay? And ya wam ha for feminine. Hope I didn't confuse you guys. But if you want to say masculine or feminine now, you can do that. You can just say ka, yawam ka. And that would be, we can do it that way. Yeah, there's different ways of doing this. We can say for masculine and feminine, in the same term here, we can just say ka. So we can say ya, wam, ka. Yawam ka. Okay? Yawam ka. For masculine and feminine. But a man definitely would say yawam wa. Okay? And you still using the interrogative question. Because that's still a question mark. Everything we're doing out here is still asking an interrogative question. How? That's always going to be a question. Okay? And we'll get into another word here. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. All right? Okay? Let's see. What we got here? Yeah. Everybody understand that right there? Let's see here. It's locked for a second. Hold a minute. It's locked. It's locked for a second. Okay, Marduk.
Okay.
Could you grab this speaker here?
Speaker?
Yeah.
It's not like a bar or something? Alright.
It's
Oh, okay, come on.
Okay, water. Slocky there for a second here. Slocky there, sorry about that. Okay? Alright. So, let's go back and make sure we understand the difference here. How is the interrogative word? A yak. And if you want to use masculine and feminine, slocky there. You want to say a yak. And you want to say ka if you want to use masculine and feminine. So you want to say a yak. Yawam is day. Huh?
Who said that's a bun?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so, but no, this the
I'm
one.
sorry.
No, it's the one.
But anyway, she's bringing a speaker up, okay?
Okay, come on.
A yam slocky for that class there. Yawam ka, masculine and feminine, okay? And if you want to use that for a male, just by itself, there is a male saying for yawam for how is your day? You want to say a yak, how? Lord Christ. A yak, how? That's an interrogative word. And you want to say yawam wa for masculine only. Okay, and it's good. This is good for your notes right here. Then if you want to say it for a female, you want to say a yak. And you want to say, instead of saying your here, you want to put that your in a possessive adjective form. So you say yawam ha. Yawam ha. Okay? Just letting you guys know that, okay? Alright? Letting you guys know that that's how that's written there. Alright, let's put another interrogative word over here. Let's put another interrogative word up here. I'm pretty sure you guys got the point off of that. When, how. So we've done so far, let's see how many interrogative words we've done. We've done, let's see. We've done would, what, when, and how. And I think we've done where. So we're gonna use another one here. Let's use why. The interrogative words are really lucky about that. Well, sometimes when I like to put my words in sentences, you know. Well, I can sit here and just write them down. You can just add them to your vocabulary, but then you got to know how to use them in a sentence. So that's the reason why I like to put my words in a sentence, okay? In the audience there. So let's do this. Let's use let's use one, yeah. Let's use why. Let's see why. That's an interrogative word. Why is it an interrogative word? Because it asks a question. All interrogative words ask questions, and that's what we're exploiting here. We're letting you know what interrogative word is, how you use them, how you spell them, paleo. But once you get the idea, you'll get the idea, you catch up. In this case, why is like, that word is ma. Well, let's move this down just a little bit. Why? Let's put it up top here, so it'll be a little bit better understanding. We'll use the word why. Ma, da, ma da, and then want to say why. Ma da why, or like that, or yeah, we'll kind of like make this a little I sound right there. Yeah. So why? In other words, you want to know why. You want to answer this question. Because why could be a full sentence. When you're doing interrogative words, actually, I'll put a question mark, big old question mark right here. But when you're doing interrogative words, interrogative words, you can actually make a sentence by itself with one of these words. You can say why, and that's what this is doing. That's what it's saying. Why? Madawai. Madawai. You know, you say, you can say, where do we put that in a sentence? And we can't say, you can say, SUBCRIBE. You can say, let's do, say Madawai. We can use it, we can do this one right here. We can say wa, and then we say shamar. Why watch? Well, there's many reasons why you want to watch, to keep on guard. You know, that's what shema is. So why? In other words, that's an interrogative sentence. Okay? Interrogative sentence asks the questions, why watch? You know? Why watch? Why shamar? Or in this case, we'll let's move it down a little bit. Shamar means to watch. Okay? Move this down just a little bit right here. Why should I watch? Or why watch? You don't have to go and say, why should I watch? Just say, why watch? You say, Madawa Shamar. Why watch? Okay? Or why should we watch? What if I did that? You know, what if I said that? And then you can say, or that means we'd have to put a possessive adjective on there. We. You know, if you want to do it that way. I mean, there's a whole lot of different ways you can use these in sentences, and that's what we're doing. Okay? So, in this case, we're just saying, why watch? All right? Okay? Why watch? So you want to say, Madawai Shamar. Why watch? Well, the reason why you want to watch, like I said again, is to protect the people in a room, to protect a camp, protect a village. That's why people would use, when somebody want to give you that question, they say, Madawa, Shamar. You're asking, you're saying, why do we need to watch? I mean, you know, we got enough people, or what are we watching for? And you say, why do we need to watch? Well, you're watching for the Alawa, in general. Okay? And that's what you say, oh, and then people say, oh, okay. You know, I understand, you know. Okay? You say, when you finish, the water. You know, thank you for breaking that down for me. But you're asking that question, why? Ma-da-why. And let's spell that in Hebrew. Let's spell ma-da-why. So we're going to say, like this, ma, then we're going to say, what are we trying to do here? Da, that's a da look right there. And then we're going to say, wa, we're going to say, let's see, I forgot here. Oh yeah, it's like this. Like that, just lock it there. Ma-da, why, and then we want to use a I over here. Okay? And that's what ma-da-why looks like in Paleo. Okay? And of course we want to make that look in Assyrian. Let's see who else. See what the chat has here. Amawa checks in. Okay. And D'Angelo, you know, if I have to go back, just make sure possessive adjective, what really all you're doing is taking a possessive adjective and putting it in back of the noun. That's whatever you had right there. You want to just put it in back of the noun. When I said, we want to say like, what is your name? Shamka. Instead of saying your name, you just make that name Ka, just put your in back of name and you'll have it. So instead of saying Sham, you say Ka. That's all you're really doing, okay? And then if you, sure, okay. Sure understands, I appreciate it. Yeah. Sure understands. Right. And so let's do, let's find out how to write this in Assyrian. Ma. Okay, and we'll write Shamar also. Why watch? And people will answer that question. You know, a higher rank officer, he'll tell you, he'll say, because we got a general, man, we got a captain on deck. We got a camp leader. They want you, this is why you watch. Or because you have an order to watch. That's an interrogative statement. It's an interrogative question. You know, why watch? It's a question. Why is an interrogative word? So we want to say ma, da, ma, da, and then you want to say wa. You want to use a wa right here. So you want to go here, like that. Sort of like this little stem, like that. Then you want to use an I, a little short looking Y there, like that. That's what that word looks like, ma-da-wai, wa. So you want to use a ma. And of course now we gotta, put connectors on this. See some of y'all in the audience. What did I say? Oh. Trying to move, let's move this down just a little bit so people have some room to do the connectors here. Okay, there we go. Madawai. But now in Hebrew, in your understanding of Hebrew, these you have to use your connectors. You know, you have to use your connectors on these words. So we're gonna go ma, right here, ma, and y'all let me know if this is right in the chat. Let me know. Did I do that right? Did I do those connectors right in the chat? Let me know. We'll give you guys about 30 seconds to answer that, because sometimes, you know, don't always appear to be right. Did I do this right? Let me know. Are the connectors right in there? Somebody in the chat, let me know. Because in paleo, you know, we have what we call independent connectors, and we have what we call dependent connectors. And then, you know, did I do that right? Y'all say type la or con. You know, did the teacher do this right? Because I use an upside down U for dependent connector, and I want the word to sound independently. Then I use upside down U. It's lucky. Then I use a regular U for dependent. Upside down U for independent. We'll give you guys 30 seconds. We got about 15 more. Did I do this right? Did I do the connectors right on that? Let me know. Okay? Then I go to the word shamar, because this is definitely how you write the Assyrian of that same word. Let's see who we got. Let's see. Got Mikey checking in class. God, you got checked in late tonight, but better late than never. We had D'Angelo over there answering all the questions. And Mikey, since you're in there, we'll ask you a question. I'm writing a connector here. I'm saying the word why is an independent slot. It's a interrogative word. When you ask the question, you say why. You know, so I want to know, and I wrote it out in Hebrew. Ma da wa. Ma da why. Ma da why. And I wrote it out in paleo. In paleo, you have connectors. So, is this correct? Ma da why. Y'all let me know in the chat. We'll give you another 15 seconds because Mikey came in late. Chat. take your time and write that. Y'all take the time. Did I do those connectors right on that Hebrew? That's what I want to know. Okay? Did I do that right? Let's see. Yes, it's correct. Ricky McCombs, yeah, I remember you from last week. And that's good. I'm glad you're learning. We're going to clap it up for you, all right? We're going to clap it up in class for you because we know you've done that right. All right, and you're correct. Independent connector, and then we're going to dependent connector, Madawai. Of course, the word watch is shamar. It don't have anything in front of it. I don't have to say, why am I watching? Just say, why watch? Because I'm making a question. I'm asking somebody on higher authority, why am I going to watch? Because you want to know. And they'll ask you, they'll tell you. They're going to tell you why now. They're going to tell you why. So we say shamar, we're going to say shah. Okay, like that. We're going to say ma. And we're going to use an R, shamar. All right? And we're going to do it in Assyrian. Shah, ma, and then we're going to use sort of like a backwards R, because that's what it looks like, you know. And of course, and then I want you guys to also let me know in the chat, did I do this right? Did I do this right here? Shah. Did I do that right? Let me know. In the chat. Did I do the connectors right on that? Let me know. Let me know. Because on the in the Assyrian, we won't have to do anything but write the chicken scratch down. That's what they taught us anyway in school. But what about the paleo? Is that right? Did I do that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Huh?
Mikey Patterson put yes, that's correct.
Mikey Patterson said that's correct. This Mikey Law, we're gonna show you why that's incorrect. Shah. You say shamar, you don't say shamar. That's what this is. That's shamar. That's pronounced like this. Sham and then R. That's not a word. We have to say like this. Shamar. Like that. And that's Shamar. Or in this case, it has to look like this, Mikey. And I give you A for effort. That's why I'm going to clap it up in a second. Shamar. Like that. Okay? Independent sound right here on this Shah. That's what Shah is. It's represented by that little W looking thing right there. That is a Shah sound. Okay? Let's see what we got. Let's see. Shamar, yeah, okay. Salakia, Mike, I was saying Khan to model. Okay, I got you. And you're right. I got you. I see what you're saying. You're right. Let's clap it up for both Ricky and Michael. Y'all both right. You both correct on that, okay? Shamar. Why watch? Asking the question. You know, you asking the officer hired you on, you say he'll let you know. He's answering that question. He's saying, you know, you say you ask him a question, he'll answer it. Shah, independent sound right here. That right there is represented by that little W looking thing. That's a Shah. If you look on the Hebrew chart right here, there it is right there. It's Shah, okay? Mar, you want to take the Ma and the R and put them together. And that's called a dependent connector. They depend on each other. That's how you look at it. Dependent connector, okay? So you want to say Shamar. Yeah, okay, well, Mikey, both you and Rick, yeah, you're right. That's good. I appreciate that. So, so good. And that's what you want when you're doing words, interrogative words. We'll write a couple more here. Let's see. We'll let the guys copy that in your notes. And, you know, you keep checking in class. Ricky, let me know. Right in there. Contact somebody in the SUBCRIBE.com here in South Carolina. What's that telephone number? Because I know you, but anyway, I'll, you go to www.isupk.com or call the South Carolina Hebrew class, or call when the class needs you. I don't know where you live, but we'll get with you. And since you've been in class for a couple of times now, maybe 3, okay? But let's find out, you know, a little bit more about you. And I believe that you sincere, especially from that Lashawan last week, right? You coming up. That's good, man. You participating in class, and that's real good. So we say, let's do another one. What did I say? Why? Let's do, excuse me. Let's do was. Let's do another one here. You know, it's good to guys learning. You guys are learning a valuable lessons here. You're learning Hebrew Paleo. You're learning Hebrew Assyrian. You know, from the original mother tongue language of Paleo, and of course you're learning Assyrian and when we're in captivities. So you're learning a lot of information that complements Commander General Yohana, you know, and the ISUPK, you know. So we're going to go over another one. Let's see. Yeah, we got time for a few more interrogative words. I mean, interrogative words are fun to me, man. I mean, you know, get you to understand. Let's use the one. Let's use this one. Did we use who? Yeah, Maya. I don't know. Did I? We'll use with. Okay, with. And we can use these together. We can say with who. Let's use those together, as a matter of fact. We can use 2 interrogative words, okay? All right, 2 of them. And let's use 2 interrogative words together here. All right? We're going to use with and who. Because they're asking questions, with or who. So I could make a sentence out of that, and I just did it. With who? In other words, right there. That's a sentence. 2-word sentence. With who? So we say with is af. Af. What we got? Oh, good. Af. And then we want to say who, we say maya. Maya. Like that. Okay? You know, somebody tell you, go stand on Shamar, and you say with who? You say af maya. Really, it's just really all you want to say, af maya. With who? So let's spell that. Let's go a little bit further. Let's spell that. Ah. That's how you write it. Paleo. Okay? Ah. Let's spell that right. Slovakia. You would think it would be an H in there, but it isn't. So you want to say tha. Ah. And not atha. You don't want to say that. You want to say af. That's with. It's a big difference. In this case, we want to do this. Af. Because we want to make it one side. Because if you said, if you did this, it's lucky. Okay? If you wanna say, yeah, you were saying they, if you said, atha, you're saying they, or that's a whole nother word. So you wanna make sure you join these together with a connector like that. Af, one sound, af, that's what that is, okay? In Paleo, it will look like this. Just like that. Okay? All right? And then you use, like that. Of course, the Syrian is in the blue and the Paleo is in the red. And you don't need any connectors on the Syrian. That's why it's a hard language really to understand, you know. The real language is in that Paleo. That's the mother language. Because it's got everything it needs right here. Atha. Or af, I'm sorry, not atha. Okay? Got everything it needs, man. Got everything it needs right there. And we're talking, we got emphasis on interrogative words. You know, and people, if you pay attention in class tonight, you've learned some. You learn a few interrogative words that you can use in different sentences.
Right.
You know, that's what you want, you know. And so we're going to say maya. So we come over here and we do an M, ma, like that, okay? Ma, and then we want to say ya, like that. Maya. In this case, I want y'all to let me know, is this right? Are those connectors correct? Let me know. I gave you the last one. Type it up in the chat. Are these connectors correct right here? When I said Maya, and I'll go ahead and do the Syrian while y'all telling me. Mikey and D'Angelo and some other people who got Ricky and some other students in there. Okay, Maya. All right. We want to use ma. Ma, we use the M in Hebrew, right there in Paleo, and then we want to use this little bird thing right here, like that. That's my ya. Doesn't need any connectors, but did I do this right? So y'all tell me, did I do the connectors right here? Or do I need to change it? Let me know. What did I do? Well, I'm saying, somebody asks you a question, you know, an officer asks you a question, and you say, with who, or anybody, a young man, a trooper, you know, ask off the question, that's what they'll say, with who? They say, I want you to go on Shamar with the other trooper. They say, with who? You know, that's what you're asking. Afmaya. You know, that's how you use Hebrew. You know. So let me know, did I do the connectors correct here? That's what I want to know. In red there, what I say right here. Let me know. Type it up in chat. Give you guys a few seconds. I really don't need many seconds if you really look at it. Everybody in the chat, did I do this correct here? I got 2 independent connectors. What do I want to use? Is that correct? Let's see. Mikey said con. Let's clap it up for Mikey. He on the call here today. Mikey Patterson, exactly right. D'Angelo, Ricky, y'all got it together, man. Y'all got it together. That's exactly right. And to explain a little further, what he's saying is he's using an upside down U. Because if you put this like all over here on off, when I say join them together with the dependent connector, you're trying to say this sound right here, you want them to be used together. But Mikey say, la, he said you need to say just like he got. So he said con. So he's saying ma, ya. 2 independent sounds. And that's exactly right. Exactly right, Mikey. That's what you want to use. So we make sure you understand that. That's exactly right. Ma, ya. And of course, you don't need any connectors on the Syrian right here. just spell it out, you know. Is anybody in the chat that can tell me, we ain't on the Syrian, we ain't did much at all tonight on the Syrian, but write it out. But if I had to write, if there was something unusual that happens at the end of the word, what would they call that? We'll see who's on the ball here. I guess maybe I need to give an example before I say that. Let's see. Let's see. I like to use this word right here. Let's use this one right here. Ra, ta, za. Okay? Alright. And I want to say, we're getting off the beaten path from interrogative words, so I'm just going to write this word here. It means earth. Okay? Arataza. E-R-T-H. And if I want to say the earth, I say ha. Arataza. Okay? Ha arataza. And that would be not a possessive adjective right there. That would be a, what do you call that? I have to think about it for a second here. Anyway, let's get back to most of it. I'll think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue here. No, no, that's messed up. Ra. And then we're going to have taza, like this. Right there. But in Assyrian, let's see. Assyrian will look like this on a rataza. Let me see if anybody can get that for me in the chat here. Toward the end of class here, okay? A ra. And I want y'all to tell me, what is that? In other words, if I said, if I did like this, you know, would that be right? In other words, I'll tell you, it would be wrong. But what am I doing to it? And if I said that would be wrong, so I put an X through that, and I want to use this. What would this be called? Anybody in the chat, type that up. Take your time. When I use arataza, okay? When I say, when I want to use the word arataza, if I say the earth, ha arataza, the earth, or I just say arataza, in this case, and the red is spelled like arataza. Of course, we're not using interrogative words here. I'm just using earth. I want to see if you guys understand Assyrian Hebrew. When I use when I want to use ra, and I cross this taza out, but I use this taza. And what is that? It's about the only way I can say it a little better. What is that? Okay? Why did I use this little Y thing here instead of this Y thing there? What is that called in Assyrian Hebrew when it occurs at the end of a word? Y'all take the time and type that out in the chat. Okay? Take the time and type that out in the chat. We'll give you guys some time there. Okay? That's what I want to use. Ha is a preposition. What I was thinking about. Ha, when I want to say the earth, like that. So I would say ha. That's called a preposition, first of all. Now, let's get back to this. All right. So what does this represent? This little green little Y thing here at the end of an Assyrian character represents what? What do you call that? I know y'all know in the chat. We'll give you a little time. What do you call that? That would fulfill my day of learning, because you guys got everything else. What do you call that? That'd be the last thing we do tonight. That'd be the last thing we do tonight. So what do we call this? This little green Y right here. Right there. Somebody in chat know what that is. Now come on. I said aratazah. And I said in Assyrian, in the Paleo, I wrote aratazah. I'll go ahead and do the connectors for it on that one. It says aratazah. All independent connectors. Okay? Now, if I want to do the Assyrian, and I put this little Y at the end, this little green one like I normally do, instead of putting the tazah right there, and I changed it to this one, what is that called? Come on, D'Angelo, you know what it is. Mikey, y'all know what that is. Ricky, you should know what that is. You've been in class a couple times, I've mentioned it. But I know, what does that represent? We'll give you guys 15 more seconds. 15 more seconds. What does that green Y represent at the end of the Assyrian Hebrew? What does that represent? No takers? Come on. Give me 10 more seconds here before we end class. Because here, this, normally you would put tazah right there. That is a tazah. And it's important. But I said la'ah, it can't be that. So I got rid of it and replaced it with that one. Why did I do that? 5 more seconds. Why? Because it is called an ending character. That ending character, and you'll find it right here on the board, right here. That ending character. There are 5 ending characters. There's ka, there's ma, there's na, there's pa, and there's tazah. In this case, there's tazah. There it is right there. So you can't go wrong, when you're reading that chart. That's why it's important to memorize the chart, okay? Because if we did this one, that would be wrong. So that's why I put an X through it. And that's a good class. Let's clap it up for class tonight. Let's clap it up. We saw everybody did a participation, a good job in class, in Hebrew class once again. Some of you guys came a little late, but that doesn't matter to me. It's just as long as you participate. That's all we need. Okay, we're going to do some security announcement. ISUBK security announcement. We are the ISUBK. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. We're talking about courtship here, right? After 6 months period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. And that's exactly what it means. Okay? 6 months to get permission from the camp leader. All right? Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 and 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Okay? Free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory, but whatsoever amount you would like. And we have some upholding complications that we're going to read about. And the next one we're going to read about here is September 15th. It's going to be the Day of Atonement. And it's the 10th day of the 7th month, Wednesday the 15th, September 2021. Leviticus 23, 27 through 32. We'll talk to you about that. Slap him a second. Prophet. What? Okay, yeah. You're welcome, Ricky. Appreciate that. You know, get in the ISUPK, man. You know, get out of those fake Israelite groups, okay? All right, Slaki. And then, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone, and that's what you want to do, Ricky, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, and headband and scarf, get into the ISUPK, www.isupk.com, and find out where you live. The next time you check in, Ricky, let me know, so we'll find out where you're close to, and we'll find a camp leader that's close to you. Okay? For that we say, Shalom.